How Crossroads, starring Britney Spears, elevated the pop star movie. Proof that musician movies can actually be worthwhile. Musicians have been crossing over into film acting for decades. Crooners like Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra acted. Elvis's massive success was carried over into film. Rock bands explored their art through celluloid in the 60s and 70s. By the 80s, Michael Jackson's aimless variety show Moonwalker embodied a transition. As time went by, the project's musicians acted and went from fictions unrelated to their discographies. Albeit some were musicals, to custom-built vanity projects whose sole purpose was to further the empires of their stars, often at the expense of actual entertainment. Pop star movies of the 1990s exemplified this. The Spice Girls played themselves, stomping around a psychedelic bus and singing Gary Glitter songs with backup dancers and assless chaps. Mariah Carey's ego received an always welcome inflation with the widely panned glitter. This trend would carry on into the 2000s a little, with Club 7's Weird Clone movie, before the cinema concert experience took over. In Crossroads, Lucy, Britney Spears, Mimi, Taryn Manning, and Kit, Zoe Saldana, are childhood friends who buried a time capsule box and promised to return years later on prom night to dig it up. Well, the day arrives, and they have all taken very different paths in life, barely even acknowledging each other in the school halls. But for lack of better things to do, they do reunite and have a laugh at how naive they once were. Mimi reveals she is planning a road trip to California to audition for a recording contract and invites the girls along. They both accept, as they have their own questionable plans. Lucy will arrive uninvited at the house of the birth mother she never met, and Kit will arrive uninvited at the apartment of her supposedly loyal fiancé in LA. What could possibly go wrong? At this stage in her career, Britney was largely considered a kid's brand, hence the outrage when she started shaking off her Southern belle persona. Her target audience was around the ages of 8 to 12. By their mid-teens, many kids considered her music passe and not edgy enough, as it hadn't yet hit the toxic era of sex appeal. This is why the general maturity of Crossroads is so striking. If parents thought that Britney's skimpy outfits were a bad example, just wait till they saw her drinking and having sex outside of wedlock on the big screen. The movie released within weeks of the announcement that Britney and Justin Timberlake were no longer a couple, further shedding her family-friendly double denim image and striking out on her own. It certainly ruffled the feathers of parents and Christian outrage groups, but more than just one pop star rebelling against her typecast. It represented the pop star movie rebelling against its usually superficial constraints. But just because the movie dares to explore some of life's darker complexities, doesn't mean it leans into the consequences of those complexities. If anything, it seems to shy away from them. Mimi's future as a poor teenage mother with only a high school education no longer matters because she loses the baby in a sad accident. Lucy's little excursion jeopardizes the connections she has spent years making to facilitate a medical career. But it's okay because she's a pop star now, a vocation famed for its longevity. The girls go off with a man who is recently out of jail, but it's okay because he was basically innocent all along. The ends of the girl stories take on the unrealistically cheery facade required of a PG-13 rating. None of them, with perhaps the exception of Kit, has really had the chance to learn from their experiences, because a solution has fallen into their lap. How will Mimi deal with the trauma of being raped and unexpectedly losing the baby she hoped might give her some direction in life? How realistic is Lucy's decision to abandon her years of work to be a singer? Winning some talent show, as many of Simon Cowell's victims will tell you, does not equal a stable, lifelong profession. Should she not look at ways to balance her career plan and her passion?